Welcome back to Battleborn Baddies. Today we're cracking open the quiet stuff, things we don't quite say out loud, the thoughts we carry in silence, the pain we tuck behind that smile, the resilience no one claps for.
Like I'm tired, but I'm scared to rest. Or I'm grieving someone that I still talk to.
I don't always feel strong, even when I'm leading, or I miss who I was before all the hard stuff happened.
I love my people and I need space too. So we're going to hit the road today with these talking points and really just shatter the walls that keep us from sharing these things collectively with each other and just making progress and moving forward. And we hope to have a lot of fun with this podcast too as well today.
Yeah, so we're also wondering what's one thing you've never said out loud but wish someone would understand anyway. So that's what we're here to talk about.
And please hit it in the comments and share it with us because that's what we're here for. We want to hear from you.
So sometimes I have these conversations in my head, like I'll be in the shower or driving to work and I'm thinking, maybe of this one particular client or employee that I imagine that I could have this conversation with and I could just really tell them to fuck off. Like truly, like deep down, just like fuck off. Do you ever feel that way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, I have my moments where I'm like, I think we all do.
Absolutely. We're human.
Just get fucked. I don't like you. You don't like me. Why are we dancing around the problem?
Why are we pretending?
No, yeah, because I don't want to be fake. No. I won't be fake.
I'm bad at being fake. Like, I feel like you can tell when I'm being fake. It's so obvious.
Yes. And it's obvious when other people are fake too.
Yeah. And I seriously sometimes just want to say, just stop.
Exactly.
Like, why are we even having this conversation?
Yeah.
Why approach me? You clearly don't want to talk to me.
Right.
I clearly don't want to talk to you. Is it like a courtesy, silent, fuck you? How are you doing? Or is it manipulative? Sometimes I really don't know.
Well, people manipulate. They manipulate. They come in and they try to one up you on your game right out of the gate. And you're like, there's been different ways that, we've handled it where it's either like you sit there and you listen to him and you're like the whole time in the back of your mind, you're not saying it out loud. Like you are one fake bitch. So do I match your fake? Or do I bring out the crazy? Because I got it tucked in real nice today and I'm not showing it off to everybody.
Yeah, or do you go to the super godly side? Just like...
I always think about the godly side later, after.
I know, right? I try that approach. I really do. I try to be the good person. I mean, a long time ago, I would never have. But nowadays, I try to be the better person. I try to just love them. But ultimately, it's like a battle, where the devil's on this shoulder and, God's on this shoulder and they're both like feeding you information and you're like, I really want to lean towards, what the devil is telling me, but I know I should lean towards what God is telling me and be the bigger person, but it is a struggle.
And sometimes when you actually are the bigger person, after the fact, you do feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
But in the moment, when you just like throw all the cards off the table and you get sassy or spicy with the situation, you have laid some groundwork down. That's when the people walk away and she's a crazy bitch.
Oh, yeah.
That bitch is crazy. You can't trust her.
Like, don't go around her. Like,
You push the button, motherfucker. You push the button. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
So, I think that these are some things that gaslighting, when people gaslight you after they push the button.
Oh, yeah.
And once there's a certain type of people, once they figure out where the button is, it's like...
Oh, yeah. They know right where to go.
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah.
Then you have to cut them out of your life.
Yeah.
Because if you got somebody in your life that keeps zoning in on that, you don't need that. That's not good stuff.
No, it's not. And I recently had a conversation where I won't say who it was with, but I laid it all out there because I don't hold anything back. And man, my tongue is wicked when, I get to that point, and I was at that point. And and what they were saying, I'm just like, what? So I went to my therapist. I had my appointment with my therapist after this conversation, and he was like, he's all, I don't want to say it, but I'm all, no, say it. He's all, they were gaslighting you. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was crazy,
Yeah.
but like, I'm just like listening to this conversation and my mind is like, and I would like bring myself back and be like, look, I'm sorry I yelled, but I can't help it. This is me releasing my emotions, right? Like, I can't help it. But once I like let that initial like burst out and I kind of calm down, I can have a conversation. But man, this conversation was just up and down, like yelling at
And
each
they
other.
keep going back to the button, right?
Yes.
You're saying I'm sorry, and you're trying to lay some groundwork there to make some progress with this conversation and like smooth it over and repair.
Right.
But no, they can't. They want that.
Yes,
they want that.
That's what I felt. And I'm like, I'm the one initiating this conversation. So I feel like, obviously, you have not. Here I am. Called you after all this time. And I was getting that, oh, aren't you perfect? Because you called me. And I'm like,
more gaslighting.
Okay. Well, I was just pointing it out that you've not called me.
Right.
You haven't contacted me. I called you because I want to regain this relationship. I want to work on I just want to make it better. And they completely would not acknowledge any wrongdoing on their part. It was all me. And I admit, like, some of it absolutely was me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I understand. And I know how I can be. But do you think that they would admit I'm just like, oh my gosh.
No, and there's time. Yeah.
Go through your text messages. It's there. Like, and what color are text messages? Like white and blue or whatever? It's there in white and blue, not black and white.
Yeah. And it is that whole active listening thing. When you're like, you stop and you listen and you give that person the time to share what they're trying to share. And then you literally try to put yourself in their shoes and say, okay, I can own this and I can understand that. And I literally can see where you're coming from right now. But okay, that's cool. We're there. Now I want to share mine.
Right. Yeah. It's a back and forth.
They hit you every time you say something. Well, what about this? And what about that? And there's no listening. See?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to take any ownership over their ill-mannered behaviors.
Right.
Because we all have ill-mannered behaviors, right?
Of course. And I know I do.
Right.
I know I do. And what I hate the most is, okay, we're having this conversation because something happened in the past, right? And you can't go on until you address what happened in the past.
Right.
And they're like, well, that was so long ago. Why do we need to keep bringing up the past? And I'm like, because the past is what brought us to this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just resolve this issue, clear the air, and go forward? Like, I can say my piece, you can say your piece, and we can just go on with a clean slate. But they don't want to. Like, what is that? Is that them feeling like they did do some wrong and they don't want to admit to it? They don't want to address it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not
And it's hard to say.
Therapist, but
it's hard to say, but
yeah, talk about wanting to hit a punching bag after all that, or
right?
Down some whiskey, because it's a very
I'm gonna skip the lemon water. I'm going to skip the lemon water right now. I'm headed straight for the bottle. Rough
stuff.
day.
Yeah.
My TED Talk this morning didn't work.
Yeah. That sermon I listened to.
Took a straight F on that shit.
Right out the door.
Study harder next time.
Lord, forgive me.
And then there's always the moments after the fact where you sit there and you replay it in your head.
Over and over. What I should have said. Yeah. Why did they say this? Or I love the information that they tell you that you've never even heard before and isn't even true, and your mind is blown. Like, what?
Where are you coming from right now?
Yeah, like, I know I can be a shitty person, but come on.
You know me better than that. Exactly. Yeah, you're adding a little extra flair to what happened that day.
Yeah.
Have you ever just gotten like straight up petty?
Fuck yes, I have.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's dead and gone, and you're like, you know what? I want to stir some shit.
Yeah, right.
Yo!
I'm a little bored today.
Yeah, there's a couple things I didn't say last time we talked.
By the way,
I got 2 bullet points to hit with you, and then you can go get fucked after this call.
right?
Forever. Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done? I mean, Marky.
I know we're talking about Marky here. There's levels of crazy. Where are we going? Top tier level?
Like, well, medium, not top tier. I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think we are either. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it for a minute. You know, I don't, off the top of my head. What's the craziest thing you've done?
Emotionally or like a drunk thing. I don't know. I did tell my boss to fuck off a couple months ago and stormed out. And then I came home and I'm like, I wonder if I have a job left. But
and how
thankfully,
the boss took it well, I take it, because you're still employed.
He understood I was in a great amount. I was like holding on by a thread after very huge loss in our family. And, I just...
You had that moment.
Dude, yeah. Like, I'm like, fuck you. And I like grabbed my stuff and I like stormed out the door. I didn't say anything. Got in my car and went home and probably cried for 2 days. Not because of that, just of what,
all of
we
it.
were going through. But
not a grieving.
But thank goodness he knows me well enough and understands what I was going through, but like how many employers would put up with that, right? But that was my most recent crazy that I could think of.
I had a boyfriend one time that was in the car drinking. This is pretty crazy, I think. And he was running his mouth. And I had a girlfriend of mine in the car, and we were all headed for Reno. So we left Lovelock, headed for Reno. And she is like, he's running his mouth. And she's like, I'm going to punch him in the face. I'm like, listen, I tell her, we're talking in the front seat. I got this little BMW back in the day.
Nice.
I know. It was a cool ass car.
The cowboy BMW.
Yes. And I'm all, he's going to have to piss pretty soon. And when he gets out, we're going to leave his ass right there.
Oh my gosh.
So she was like, okay. She's being all tough. Yeah. So he's drunker and shit. He's all, pull this son of a bitch over. I got to take a piss. So I just whip it over there, right on I-80. We were between the rest area and Fernley.
Yeah.
Like kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he gets out. And the door's still open. He left the door open. And I drove far enough ahead that he couldn't catch us. And I told her, I'm like, when I pull over, just jump out and shut that door. And she jumped out and shut the door. And she's looking at me and she's like, did you really just do that? Did you really just leave this guy out in the middle of the desert? Yeah, I did. So that was pretty crazy.
That is crazy. I like that.
So he thumbed a ride to Fernley, hooked up with some guy, cowboy dude out in Wadsworth. That guy called me on the phone and he was like, I can't believe you left him out there like that. I'm like, well, we'd warned him like 15 times. Just tone it down, dude. Tone it down. We're not on the same level of party you're on,
Yeah.
But, so I've done some crazy
so
stuff.
what happened with that? Like afterwards, did they get back together? What was their deal?
Oh, no, it was my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend?
Oh, no, mine.
Oh, did you guys get back together?
No, we did not. No.
It's kind of the end of that.
That way, it wasn't even there at the time, We stopped in Lovelock to use an ATM to get some cash out, and he was stumbling down the street drunk, probably who knows how many day bender he'd been on. And he's like, oh, what are you doing? And he just helps himself with the car. Then once he's in the car, he starts, and she's like, what are we going to do with this guy? And I'm like, we're going to get rid of him soon enough. You got to wait for the timing.
Yeah,
when the timing is right. Yeah.
That's smart when they have to pee.
Oh, yeah, you got to wait. Yeah.
That's pretty brilliant, actually.
The secret is stay away from men that have drinking problems. Stay away from an alcoholic.
That would probably
and that
be
will,
smart.
that's a great start to more successful future in life.
Yeah. Yeah, too bad I didn't realize that. See, I've never really been with anyone. Well, one time I had this boyfriend who, funny story. He had a drinking problem, I think. Like, he drank a lot. And he loved to play the guitar, whatever. And he was drunk, right? And he's playing the guitar, and he had a gun over and, like, next to him. And he's sitting there, like, looking at me saying, what if I took this gun and shot you? And I'm like... What? I don't even remember the conversation, right?
Oh my gosh.
Somehow we got through it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this guy was about to, like, kill me or kill us both. I don't remember. But like a few weeks later, I kind of like there was this guy I had a crush in Winnemucca, and he was in Reno and I was in Reno, and he called me and he wanted to meet me over at this bar and grill. So he was actually on the toilet taking a crap, and the dude was there to pick me up, and I'm like, hey, bye, I'm gonna go out with my friends. And he's like, oh, what? And I'm like, see you later. And I like close the door and I run off to hang out with this dude that I've had a total crush on from the time that I lived in Winnemucca, and then he happened to be in town. And I always laugh because I'm like, I left him while he was taking a shit, you know?
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, this is a kind of tense situation. He's drunk. He had this gun. I think he was cleaning it. And he's just sitting there like talking.
What would I do? I'd die. I'd be dead.
Yeah. And
like, you're doing life in prison, or you're going out, you know, with me. It's your choice. And
it's not my nature to be like, oh, please don't kill me. But I can't really remember, but I'm sure I'm like, oh, yeah, and then what? You know, I'm sure I was doing that. I can't remember. It was kind of a blur, but I'm just like, just a dumbass he was. Like, what was I thinking?
A lot of thought into that. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Because when we were younger, what were we thinking? Like the shit that we put up with?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just to know. I mean, I was kind of on my way out anyways, right? And I'm like, this guy drinks a lot. Whatever. I mean, it just kind of worked out where this guy contacts me. It was after that incident. I'm just like, gotta get out of here. Anyhow, not that I like moved in with this dude, but I was making arrangements to leave. Right, yeah. But it just worked out. And like I always say, I left him while he was taking a dump. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Well, I had Clint.
Oh, you know what, actually?
What?
Why we ended up getting together that night? And this is going to sound crazy, but I was on like restriction. After I got a DUI in Winnemucca, I was driving these bull riders around. I took everyone home, and the last girl that I was taking home, her dad or uncle was an attorney. Well, I ended up getting pulled over because I did this California roll for a stop sign. Yeah, so I had to like always call in and be like, I'm here. And that guy had called me. He's like, I had just like, it was like, I don't remember. He called and said, you're free or whatever. And I had made arrangements with this guy. We're going to go out as soon as I could get out. It's not like I had an ankle bracelet or anything. Yeah. Dude, whatever they're called, they would call me on the phone to make sure I'm home, you know. And I was like, free, and they came and got, like, we had this all planned, and it was so funny now that I think, like, I totally forgot about all that until just now. I've never gotten a DUI since then, but those were my super crazy days, you know. Yeah. It's good times.
I got a wet reckless in California once.
Well, you know, I mean,
and that's just because the lady was awesome.
Why do you mean?
Well, she just, you know, like, didn't give me a full-blown DUI.
Oh, right.
So she just dropped me down to a wet reckless, and I don't know if that's a thing everywhere, but I know it is in California.
In Nevada.
And I, you know, it cost a lot of money. Obviously, the fines and shit are horrendous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I felt horrible for it because I was going to buy my youngest son a motorcycle, his first dirt bike, and that money went to fines, and I felt like the world's worst mother ever. But the funny part is I had a couple glasses of wine. I was going through a divorce, and I had gotten a prescription of, what's that stuff? Is it Xanax?
Prozac? Xanax?
No. I think it was Xanax. Yeah, that's the one everybody likes to take. when they're under
I never
stress.
understand because it makes me
Right.
tired.
So I had a bottle of Xanax, but I had left it in Oregon. I didn't even bring it with me. But the cops were watching me because we had a lot of stuff going on. And it was kind of like, at that time in that area, high profile bullshit. And he pulls me over and, have you been drinking? Well, you immediately say no. I've not been drinking.
One drink, officer.
And I was so young and stupid. I had only a couple drinks of wine the whole night. I probably was fine. But I said, I took some Xanax because I thought it'd be okay to say that. Since it was prescribed, it wasn't illegal, but it was illegal to drive on it. Oh. So I got hauled to jail.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a wet reckless literally because I was a dumbass. I said,
you were honest?
I'm sorry, I took Xanax, but the Xanax is in Oregon. It's not even with me, you know. I didn't even take the Xanax. I wasn't even being honest.
Okay.
I just wasn't going to admit. I should have just kept my mouth shut and said, no, I'm good, because I probably would have passed the test. But I straight up admitted that I took Xanax when I didn't.
My God.
So I got a ride to the jailhouse. I got released at like 2:30 in the morning. I'm beating feet down Main Street. Where I called my friend. She's like 30 miles away. Come and get me. And I swear to God, I could walk faster than she could drive that morning. And the guy was really nice. The cop was awesome. He didn't like impound my truck or anything.
Oh,
you know,
that's good.
But it was a diesel and it had to be plugged in because the glow plugs were like super.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, I hope my truck starts when we get down there.
Oh my, that's all you're worried about.
That's all I was worried about. Yeah, she took me and it did. It fired up, and I was like, I gotta get back to my Xanax. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, I really need a Xanax now.
Yeah.
After all that.
Yeah, so it was a total.
Dude.
And then I was living in Eagle Point, Oregon, but I got the wet reckless of California, so I had to drive to Wairika.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if it was once a week or what, but for like 12 or 16 weeks for the drug and alcohol classes.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I had to go to AA.
The lessons we live and learn.
Yeah.
But I've never had trouble. Oh, the cop pulled me over years later.
Wow, the same cop?
Same cop. And it was like 1:00 in the morning, and I literally my whole life had changed, and I was just coming back from Oregon. And it had been a long day up there with my son and my grandson, and he says, Marky, that you? Are you the girl that I pulled over? And I'm all, oh God, here you are again. Yes, I'm definitely not on Xanax anymore. I'll tell you that right now.
Honey.
I told him, I said, I've never drank anything and drove since then. And he thought that I was drinking and driving because it was 1 a.m. in a little small ass town. But he's like, oh, give me a hug. I'm so proud of you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was, yeah. But I did learn my lesson. You know, I did because it's
expensive lesson.
It's expensive as shit. Mm-hmm. It's too big of a risk. Like, don't drink your wine and try to drive home, you know. I mean,
it's just not worth it.
What are they called? Designated drivers are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have to hire the biggest dork you know.
Yeah.
Treat them like gold and let them drive you around if you're going to go party.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Love those people.
And Ubers have been, taxi cabs too, of course.
Yeah.
If
you live in an area where they're available, but
otherwise you're hoofing it.
You're hoofing it. And that, don't be too proud to hoof it if you need to.
Yeah, right. It's a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper.
Less time
and
consuming.
safer.
Yeah.
Because people do get, we've all seen it. These horrific wrecks from drug or alcohol related, and it changes people's lives.
It's terrible.
Very.
So what's something you guys don't say out loud or talk about? Because we would love to hear about it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And
we also want to hear about the craziest thing you did.
Yeah.
When you were, like we talked about on our last podcast, in the breakdown, headed for the breakthrough. We've all had those shaky moments where we've just absolutely come unraveled. And later on, we are sitting there in shame and silence, wondering how it got so out of control. But, we've been there and we've done that.
Absolutely. And behind every strong woman is a list of things she's laughed about so she doesn't lose her damn mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because what can you do?
What can you do other than laugh about it? Laugh about it, own it. I mean, I once cried over dropping a taco. That was a spiritual low. May or may not have been alcohol involved. It may or may not have been the early wee hours of the morning.
But you know you're at the end of your rope when you start crying over dropping the taco, right?
Or spilling the drink.
Yeah. There's just some things that put you over the edge that you can't really control. So if you have anything that you want to talk about, we're here. We will listen. If you'd like to be on our podcast, we're here. Just let us know. We can edit this part out, but what's the cool thing we signed off with last time? Sorry, Rob. We'll edit this out.
Sorry, Rob. You might be editing a lot out. I don't know, but that's up to your discretion. Okay.
We're just drinking with margaritas.
It's Margs with Missy and Marky today. That's up next.
Episode.
Okay, let me get here. Invisible. Is this it?
I don't know my other notes. It wasn't on this one.
AI. Pisses me
Oh,
off.
wow.
That's what it did to our faces. Get out of it.
Cool, though.
That is not us.
Fuck, we look old.
As shit, dude. Because I wanted them to, here's a picture of us.
Nope.
No, AI, you missed it.
Totally.
Thanks for sitting with us, and stay strong.
Stay kind.
And stay battle-born.